Hi, coaches. It's Heather from Mosaic, bringing you another daily newsletter. I hope you're enjoying these so far, and we hope you're doing well, staying healthy, and know that we're really missing you during this time. We think about you, and we really wanted to pass along some tips and information today about maintaining your physical health during this time. So don't worry, don't be intimidated. Your physical health doesn't mean hardcore exercise all of the time. It's activity, movement, nutrition, and sleep. So while stay-at-home restrictions this week made things a little more tricky as far as getting out and moving around, there's still a lot of ways that you can prioritize your physical health during this time. Today I'm going to focus more on physical health and nutrition, since later newsletter topics do include relaxation, meditation, rest, and sleep. So first, physical activity. So the World Health Organization does recommend 150 minutes of physical activity each week. It sounds like a lot. If you break it down, it works out to about 30 minutes a day, 5 days a week. So we may be intimidated by the words physical activity. Some of us may not be, which is great. But thinking, that means hard labor and running miles and sweating and breathing hard. And it can, but it doesn't have to. Their recommendation is just to get moving. So for 30 minutes a day. And this can include working in your garden or your lawn. Yes, you could still be out and about on your own property or even in your own neighborhood, as long as you're maintaining a safe distance. Walking around your neighborhood, going for a bike ride, doing chores around your house, cleaning, laundry, or dancing. Yes, dancing. You could have a dance party with your kids, your partner, yourself, virtually over FaceTime or Zoom. The one-page information sheet that is attached to this newsletter includes a lot of links for free resources, mostly from YouTube. Many of the trainers and exercise professionals are actually allowing their content for free during this time. I know personally we've been taking advantage of that. If you just Google 10-minute workouts, 20-minute workouts, 30-minute workouts, 60-minute, there's a lot of free content that comes up and a lot of variety. There are all sorts of variation ranging from, again, very short workouts, and they're typically called HIIT training. You might see HIIT, which stands for high intensity interval training. So they're usually short, compact, but you really get your heart rate up in a short amount of time. Or, there are 10-minute Zumba videos that I also included on the newsletter. And if Zumba isn't something you're familiar with, it's really just dancing to kind of get moving, burn the calories, and stay active. And so a lot of people like that because to them it doesn't seem like exercise, but you're really getting the benefits of exercise. So perhaps you combine maybe 10 minutes of Zumba activity with 20 minutes of walking around your neighborhood. Again, you can break it up if you want. It doesn't have to be 30 consecutive minutes to maintain that physical health. It can be broken up into 3 10-minute intervals, or maybe you do a little something 7 days a week instead of just 5 days a week. So the newsletter also has some websites that include 30-minute workouts. Like I said, that we've actually been doing at our house, and you don't need any equipment. So they're called bodyweight activities, meaning you don't need any special set of weights or ropes or anything like that. It really just uses your own body weight. And there are some that we found, that are repetitive. Maybe you do the same thing for 10 minutes 3 times, or some of them are different. So you do a different activity for 45 seconds, rest for 15 seconds. And so it really does keep you engaged. And as I mentioned, there are a lot of options out there now, so you don't get bored with repeating the same thing over and over again. So finally, under physical fitness, there's some free yoga links also. They range from 30 to 60-minute classes. And again, there are a lot of yoga instructors that are offering their classes for free online right now. And so perhaps you have some type of limitations with back or knee problems, and it really doesn't allow you to walk much or have much of that impact on your knees or your legs. And yoga really is a great way to build strength and flexibility. So you don't have to be a yogi to reap the benefits either. The idea is to get moving. If you have kids at home, like I do, we've been trying to get active together. And so there is a free YouTube channel also that they've used, and they actually use in school, and we use at home now, called Cosmic Kids. And it's really geared to kids like 10 and under, but I do it along with them sometimes. And it's neat. It's a young woman, and she has a theme each week. So she has a background. And so what we did earlier this week was Wizard of Oz. And so you do your stretches and your yoga moves as she's telling the story of the Wizard of Oz. And so it really keeps them engaged, and they don't really even realize that they're exercising or maintaining physical activity. So next, nutrition. So they say that about 80% of physical health is nutrition, 20% is exercise. But in this time of limited resources and perhaps limited money, how can you prioritize your healthy eating? And so the newsletter, also the handout, has a few websites that include healthier recipe options. And so many include traditional recipes where you're just substituting a healthier option. Limiting your takeout orders. And so I know there is a lot of media out there really encouraging people to order takeout and to help local businesses. But too much of that, you might start to notice the ill effects on your physical health. And so maintaining that balance, often when we cook at home, our meals are a little healthier than when we order out. So just being mindful of that. Also, if you do order out, there are often a lot of more nutritious options. So again, maybe choosing something broiled or baked over something fried. And also being mindful of what does contain a lot of calories or unhealthy options, like salads, right? And so we always think a salad is healthy, but if we douse it in like blue cheese or ranch, then it may not necessarily be so healthy. So maybe just making more mindful choices, a raspberry vinaigrette dressing instead of a ranch or blue cheese or something to that effect. So just keeping in mind that there are often healthier options, or even, substituting a salad for fries as a side, making little adjustments like that at a time of less physical activity definitely helps in the long run. Fruits and vegetables, we know, are a healthy part of your diet, and they tend to be on the more expensive side, which does make eating healthier a little trickier. But research how you can extend the shelf life. So at times like this, maybe buying fruits or vegetables that are canned or frozen, and they'll have a longer shelf life, so you're throwing less away. Um, or buy them fresh and then freeze. And so that's something that I've been looking into. Usually we go through fruits and vegetables pretty quickly and we don't have to freeze them, but we're, trying to take less trips to the store. And so we're buying a little more than usual, and finding, I'm learning ways that we can freeze and extend the shelf life. Also making and freezing meals. Now we have the extra time to cook. So now maybe a good time to try some healthier recipes, but also using your slow cooker. And this is something I personally need to get better at. But you can make 3-4 days worth of meals in a slow cooker and then freeze it, and then have it already prepared. And so we could opt for these healthier meals, freeze it ahead of time, and then thaw and cook. And we know that meal prepping really is a good way to maintain a healthier diet as well. Also looking up some healthy casserole options, things that could be frozen, such as soups, lasagna, or stuffed shells, and still having that home cooked feel, but really a one-time effort, making, a few days worth and freezing it and taking one out each week or something to that effect. The most important piece of nutritional advice that myself, the non-professional in this field, can give you is to drink water. I know that that's something that can be easily forgotten. I always have my water with me at my workstation. But even I've noticed myself slacking off on that. And sometimes at night I notice that I just feel a little dehydrated. And we know when we start to feel that way, we've actually been dehydrated for a while. And so I think that a lot of us aren't familiar with how much we're actually expected to drink a day, and it is a lot to maintain health. However, if you kind of break it down, drink throughout the day, it really is not as overwhelming as it seems. And so the typical recommendation by the World Health Organization is to drink half your body weight in ounces. And so, for example, if you weigh 200 pounds, then to drink about 100 ounces of water a day, and that's a lot of water. However, if you start in the morning and drink a little bit throughout the day, consistently throughout the day, it really can be done. The other thing to consider is if we're thinking about our intake and we're only at about 40 or 50 a day and we want to get to 100, jumping to 100 may be difficult or impossible. And so maybe increasing by about 8 to 10 ounces a day and then ultimately reaching our goal. And so combining physical activity and a balanced nutrition does help you relax and sleep better. And additionally, these are key items to managing stress. And again, I know some past and future newsletters will touch on a little bit more about managing stress and relaxing and sleeping better. And also in future newsletters, we'll give some tips and ideas and websites for guided relaxation, stress relief, and other ways to promote rest and relaxation. But it is important to keep in mind that we do need to rest our bodies. We need the recommended amount of sleep each night, and it is recommended to take off a day or two each week from exerting yourself in physical activity. And so those rest days are definitely important. Thank you for taking the time to hear these. I do hope you download the newsletter and take a look at it, and stay healthy physically and mentally. And we hope to see you soon. Thank you all.